Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. Today I want to restart my Pro-Contra series where I play devil's advocate and find all the arguments for a country and an entry winning Eurovision and all the arguments against a country and an entry winning Eurovision. Today I want to talk about the big favorite of Eurovision 2024 at this moment, and that is NEMO from Switzerland. I did these videos last year. I did one pro and one contra video for the favorites, but people got a bit confused what my intentions are, whether I want to talk an entry down or talk an entry up. That is not the intention. It's a thought experiment and trying to look at all the different aspects from all sides, and sometimes you get a new perspective. On an entry, I also asked you in the community tab of my channel to give me 2 arguments for and 2 arguments against NEMO winning Eurovision, and lots of you participated, and I added your arguments into this video as well. I will be doing this for most of the favorites, so check out the community tab if you want to add some of your arguments. So let's get right to it. We'll start with the pro arguments why NEMO and Switzerland will win Eurovision 2024. And the first argument is it is just a very memorable, special song. It is very experimental. It unites a lot of different styles into one product, and it kind of works as a product. It is very dynamic as well. And to be memorable is very important in Eurovision because you want people to remember the song, pick up the phone and vote for you at the end. And I think with all the vocal acrobatics and everything that this song has, the rap part, people will be looking up from maybe their phones if they're on the phone, or stop talking to their friends and notice what is actually happening on screen. And in a year with so many memorable, loud, visually and musically loud performances, that is a very important characteristic that the code has. Now, next up is also a fun genre mix of many different genres. We have the rap, we have opera aspects, we have pop, and each of these aspects is actually done well in this song. We have entries where you have a pop song and then a rap element. The pop song is outstanding, and then the rap element is kind of generic or not that well done. But in this case, I think each of the elements of the code is actually outstanding and very well done. And this will be recognized by the juries and also the televoters, I think. Then, and this is very important, especially for the juries, NEMO has impeccable vocals. We've seen the performances at the pre-parties, but also on Swiss television. And every single time NEMO has performed it 100%. There is no off notes, no off-key moments. And especially the juries will recognize what an incredible vocal performance they have on their hands there. However, there are also lots of emotions. In the Swiss TV performance, they are on their knees, and for one part of the song, obviously, and you really feel that there's a connection to the message of the song, and they can really transmit that to the audience, and that is very important. It is not just a slick pop song that is there as a vehicle to show these impeccable vocals. There is actually, and that's the next point, a message that is supposed to come across, and that is, of course, that they broke the code. They are non-binary. They are neither 0 nor 1. They're in the middle, and that's where their kingdom comes. That's part of the lyrics. And this is a very modern message that will speak to people that can relate to this message very, very much, and will be a big motivator to pick up the phone and vote for this song if you are someone who relates to the message. And in Eurovision, you don't vote against a song. You need people to vote for you. And I think a message like this can be a very big, as I said, motivator. I also think that the message and the whole style of the song is kind of TikTok ready. It is the perfect message and song to go viral on social media during Eurovision week, after the semifinal performance, for example. And so that is another argument why NEMO might actually be the winner in the end. Then some of the arguments I just mentioned are pro that the song is very jury-friendly, and others are pro that the song is quite televote-friendly. And that is kind of what makes this song stand out. It could be a compromise winner in a very open year where we have some entries that are more televote friendly, other entries more jury friendly. This is one of the only ones that is really appealing to both of these groups that you really have to convince to be the Eurovision winner. And I can completely see NEMO doing a Duncan Lawrence, coming second in both or third in one, second in both, and then winning overall because televote and jury vote are quite split between other entries. For the juries, also, this is a very musically intricate song. The composition is just incredible. The beat resembles a countdown or a heartbeat at times. Really listen to the instrumentation in this song. There are strings. It's just really well done. The production is also very high quality, and the juries will definitely recognize that. And then it is currently the big favorite, and people will mention this as the favorite. And there is a psychological effect that a lot of people want to be with the winner in the end. So if a party in politics, for example, is leading in the polls, there sometimes is an effect that more of the undecided voters will go with that party because they want to say, I voted for the party that won in the end. And this might actually also happen here. They know that NEMO is leading the odds, that Switzerland is the big favorite. And so they might go with that favorite status to then in the end be able to say that I was with the winner, this was my favorite, so I am with the mainstream, so to speak. And this is an effect that might happen even more in the juries because they don't want to vote against a song that is such a big favorite, and then later on they will have to explain themselves why they didn't give points to the favorite song. And then last but not least, Switzerland hasn't won in a while. This is more of a non-contra argument, so it becomes a pro argument. It is not like Italy or Ukraine or Sweden, where people might think, well, they just won a year or 2 years ago, so I'm not going to vote for them again. Why? Switzerland doesn't have that problem. They last won in 1988. You can see here who did that, Céline Dion with Ne partez pas sans moi. And so most people haven't seen Switzerland win, and so they don't have that problem, so to speak, that Italy or Ukraine or Sweden might have, of people just being a bit tired of the same countries winning over and over again. These are all the pro arguments I could find. Now let's look at the other side, why NEMO and Switzerland won't win Eurovision this year. And the first argument is kind of a counter argument par excellence, because I said that this is a very experimental, out there entry that combines many different genres. That might work in its favor if people get it, but it also might work in its disfavor if people just are too overwhelmed by it, don't know what is going on, and just feel that it's too disjointed. I'm not sure whether I think that the televoters might feel that more because they probably see this entry for the first time, or whether maybe the juries will feel that way, because historically the juries have not really gone for songs that combine different genres, especially that include rap. And so that might be one of the big things that impedes Switzerland from winning in the end. It is also a grower. This is not a song that you love at first listen. At least I didn't. I needed a few listens to really get into it. Now I really, really love it. But I needed a few listens, and most people will hear this for the very first time on Eurovision night, and that just might be not enough times to hear the song. Then it is a very open year with a lot of competition from many different sides. You see that in Switzerland only having 25% winning chance in the odds at the moment, whereas Loreen last year had 42% at this point. So it really is an open year, and things like the running order might have a very big impact on a country's chances. So if Switzerland performs very early on in the final and all the other favorites follow, they might be forgotten. If they're last in the running order and all the favorites perform before them, they might have a bit of an advantage, and we just don't know yet what the running order will look like, which is part of why this year is so exciting. However, there is also the aspect that a lot of the competitors are much more up the lane, or much more the cup of tea of either the juries or the televoters. So what might happen is that the Netherlands and Croatia get a lot of the top televote points from all countries, whereas, for example, France and Ukraine and maybe Italy get all the top points from the juries. And then there aren't that many high points left for Switzerland to get in either vote. And then in the end, it might not be enough to actually win Eurovision with just 6 points from the jury and the televote from each country, whereas the Netherlands or Croatia get 12 points from the televote every single time. So that might be a contra argument. Then rap and opera, which are featured in this song, are both not very historically popular genres in Eurovision. I can't really think of an opera song that has been in the top 5. And rap, we have Kalush Orchestra, but really otherwise we don't have a lot of examples where this actually worked. And obviously the code includes both of these genres, and that might work in its detriment, especially the juries don't like these two genres, and that might hurt NEMO and Switzerland quite a bit. Then the message, which might be a pro, could also be a contra, even though you cannot vote against an entry, so this is not the main contra argument, but some more conservative viewers might not like the message about discovering your non-binary and for that reason not vote for a song they would otherwise have voted for. Then this is also possibly a contra-argument. The first time I listened to the song, I didn't hear the message clearly. Like, I really needed to read the lyrics. I really needed to get into the song to understand what it was about. Maybe that's just me, but that might also be a contra-argument that people just don't get the message and for that reason might not vote for it. I've already said that it's a grower, that it's a song you need to listen to a few more times than twice, which is how many times most casual viewers will hear it, and that might hurt it. And then, like the running order, we also don't know what the staging will look like yet. The music video is very professional and very impactful in the way it is shot and in the way it tells the story of the song as well. And if you can't replicate that on stage, the favorite status might deflate a little bit. We've seen him in almost like he's gonna fly or something, like with protectors for the elbows and stuff like that. So it could be epic or it could not work and not tell the story of the song. We shall see how it works out, but maybe staging could be a counter argument. Then some of you have posted that this might be the kind of song that the Eurovision fans love for the message, for the genre mixes, but that the casual viewer is just a bit taken aback by. And so it could be a fan favorite that in the end doesn't work out for the general audience, and its lead in the odds doesn't translate into a win at Eurovision. And then some people also might think it will win anyway because it is the favorite, so why vote for it? I'm not going to spend money on this because it's going to win anyway. And then in the end, it doesn't because you stayed home, so to speak, and you didn't put your vote in. These are all the counter arguments I could think of. One counter argument a lot of you posted, which really doesn't have to do with the song or the entry, is that Switzerland is very expensive, and that might mean that if Switzerland hosts Eurovision next year, a lot of countries might not be able to afford that, which is kind of true, but it's not a reason for a song not to win. And then another aspect, a pro aspect, which doesn't have to do anything with the song either, is that Miss Céline Dion, the last winner for Switzerland, might be there in 2025 as an interval act. I hope she gets better. She has some health issues, obviously, but that would be a huge pro argument for me, actually. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. It's a bit of a mind experiment, a debate, so to speak, between me and myself. Let me know in the comments if you have any more arguments, pro or contra, and do subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss any of the videos in this series or my other series. I'm gonna do Baby Lasagna, gonna do Sliman, and lots of the other favorites, so I hope to see you in my next video. See you then, and bye-bye.